Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Jets Radio. This is one of your hosts, Tyson Roush, and we have on-the-field activities to talk about, and we have a lot of other things to talk about, some off-the-field stuff as well. At Talk Jets Radio on Instagram and Twitter, Let's Talk Jets Radio on YouTube, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Google Play, Apple Play, everything else. Mr. Primetime, how are you doing this evening?
Not too bad. I wish that injury list wasn't getting so long, but other than that, I'm doing all right. It's nice to have some football to talk about.
You know, it's funny, man. Like, you really weren't sure what to expect. They go to practice, like, all right, then you start getting excited. Like, they're on the field, they're doing things. You're like, I can't wait to say this, I can't wait to see that. And before you fucking know it, dude, it's like Denzel Mims is out. And you're like, what? Like, you didn't have a chance to even get excited, dude. And it was like, all right, well, how serious is it? And you're like, a hamstring. And you're like, oh, no. And then you see, like, Pierre Desir's a hamstring. And that's the trickiest thing because you don't want to come back too soon because then that could linger the entire season, especially for a speed guy where that's his game.
No, absolutely. Those core muscle injuries and stuff like that. You also lost Vincent Smith for, 5 to 8 weeks. I mean, it's not an ideal start. And, the fact that this is something that, has happened, year after year, it seems like with a lot of our teams and some of Adam Gase's teams, you just hope that this isn't going to be something that lasts, throughout the entire season.
And that's the whole thing, dude. We talked about this going into, the offseason, going into training camp is like the wide receiver position to me was the biggest concern coming into camp. Hands down, the biggest concern other than the offensive line gelling. And now you have, no Josh Doxson. You have Mims is hurt. Vincent Smith is out 2 months. You're sitting here like, what are we doing here? So now they go out and sign Chris Hogan, which is fine. Braxton Berrios was out there for personal reasons. But they're so limited at wide receiver right now, they canceled practice today. Like, dude, can you think of the worst scenario for a team that's trying – I mean, seriously, dude. Like, you're talking about build around Sam, talking about do all this stuff with the offense. They couldn't even have practice because they had too many injuries at tight end and wide receiver. Like, are you kidding me already? Dude, we're not even a week into this.
Well, let me just say this. This isn't even a knock on Joe Douglas. It might be a slight knock to some people, but the one thing that we all wanted, I think, as Jet fans this offseason was to build around Sam. That was one thing that I think every person agreed on. You have to build around Sam, start it with the O-line, and then add some receivers. And so the first 2 rounds of the draft were perfect. We got, the massive 6'7", 370 left tackle in Becton, who's, looking the part so far. And then, you get your wide receiver in Mims, who, yes, he hasn't stepped on the field yet. But, you went offense. But then after that, it was a lot of defense. You took the backup quarterback in Morgan, just a lot of picks that, I don't want to say didn't make sense because you still want to go best player and find depth in the later rounds. I understand that. But there was so much more I felt that Sam still needed. And, with Perriman taking over for Robbie, that's still another question mark. I just felt like you had to bring in some more bodies here that were a little bit more proven. And I know there's still a couple weeks. You could still add some more veterans. But you had so long to do this. And I think a lot of fans would agree. Even if the defense was like 32nd this year, if Sam played well, that is awesome going into the future with, knowing that you have that quarterback, knowing that he can play well in the system with Gase and build some chemistry with some wideouts and have that O-line and gain confidence, all those things. So that was the one thing that we wanted to see this season. And it seems like, right now with a lot of receivers out, it's a lot of questions again. And, that's not ideal for your young quarterback.
No, like I keep saying, you're one Jamison Crowder injury away from being in deep shit. And now it's like you got to pray to your lucky stars that Chris Herndon has a breakout year. They use Le'Veon Bell as a pass catcher. I mean, this is crazy, dude. And this is your biggest nightmare. Look, a week into the season, a week into the training camp. And it's like, all right, now they're saying maybe Denzel Mims will come back next week. We're 26 days away from your first game. 26 days away, and he hasn't been on the field yet. He has to learn the offense, get chemistry with Sam, learn the pace of the NFL, do all these things. His head's going to be spinning, and to expect anything out of him is going to be a lot. So then you have Perriman, Crowder, and who? Like that, it's like, what are we doing here? Like this it's crazy, dude. Like their wide receiver position is a joke right now.
Well, this goes to what you've also mentioned a lot this offseason, which is ground and pound. That has to be the approach coming out in week one.
Yep.
I understand, most defenses are going to be looking for that, especially the Bills. They're awesome in their front seven. But, you got to be able to find a way to run the football, feature Le'Veon Bell, work P. Ryan and Gore in there a little bit too. Try to work Sam off of that because, Mark Sanchez's first year, he entered that season. I know we had a caller last week that brought it up. He entered that season with Kotchery and Chancey Stuckey as his top two wideouts. So, if he can succeed as a rookie with that, obviously he had a much better offensive line. But if we can, just come out ground and pound and, kind of build Sam's confidence that way and get Mims slowly acclimated and hopefully Perriman does a little bit, I do think Herndon and Bell and Crowder as well, if he's on the field and stays healthy, I think those three especially can be solid weapons. It's just what do you get beyond that?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like now the only thing that I'm happy about is that we still have 26 days and Adam Gase can kind of sculpt his offense around all these problems. Because, nobody's going to be scared of our passing attack. You have speed on the outside. Perriman's a speed guy. Chris Hogan's a speed guy. Crowder's over the middle. Then it's like you have Herndon, Bell coming out of backfield. People are going to start selling me on Braxton Berrios, and now Jeff Smith is the new guy. Oh, Jeff Smith is this breakout star. And, the thing that we got to keep in mind, but the thing, dude, I've been guilty of this as well, is when you're in this early in training camp, everybody is a superstar. Everybody is great. Everybody's in the best shape of their life. Beckton's going to the Hall of Fame. Ashton Davis is an all-pro. Everything is wonderful until you actually step on the field. And the problem that we have is they're not having preseason games. So we don't even honestly know what we have. But the one thing I do know we have is we have a rookie class that we're counting on that is decimated by injuries. Mims. We talked about Cameron Clark is week to week. Dude, it's crazy how fast. Yeah, Bryce Hall's going to be out for a while, according to Rich Cimini. So you look at this class, and Zuniga's hurt. Zuniga's got a quad. You have four of your highly touted rookie class. 4 members of your rookie class are all out with injuries. And it's like this is the most important time because we talked about this. No OTAs, no minicamp, no preseason games. Your most valuable time is practice. Your best ability is availability, and none of them are practicing. Beckton obviously is making all the headlines for how big he is. Ashton Davis did a backflip and everything. He's a superstar. But, dude, the injury bug right now is crazy. And the only thing, like I said, the only positive is it's happening so early where you can adjust. But this offense has got to go through Bell. It's got to go through Herndon and Griffin, and then deep passes to Perriman and you're working Crowder. Adam Gase doesn't do that. I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, it's got to be that, and you also hope, for somebody else like a Berrios or a Lawrence Cager or somebody like that to step up. Cager, he's got big size and big speed. And they do have some guys that just have, straight 4.3 speed, where you would hope that putting those guys on the outside could at the very least keep defenses honest, where Herndon and Crowder and Bell can do their thing over the middle because, those are our feature playmakers. Those guys have to be the ones that we feature, and I think those guys can get it done, especially over the middle. It's just what do you get, speed-wise over the top and, big play-wise, which I don't think we really have anybody that, is a home run hitter or, somebody that defenses fear other than Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, and then you look at the corner position with Pierre Desir's banged up. They're saying they're being cautious with him. Like you said, Bryce Hall is out. So now a corner position, we were kind of saying, okay, we have some kind of hope there. Now you're like, all right, you have Bless Austin, who has a lot to prove. Nate Harrison's got a lot to prove. Arthur Millette. There's not – and Brian Poole, they keep saying he's dehydrated. He has hydration for 3 days. Who the hell's been dehydrated for 3 days? What is going it's just this injury report's driving me crazy. I'm trying to overreact because you're so excited for football news. But when you get to the point where you're holding back practices now because you don't have enough healthy bodies, and you start looking at the depth chart, and you're like, let's not go through this again, because they fired the strength and conditioning coach last year. They fired him. That he was clearly the problem. And I will give the caveat though, and I will say this, that we all expected injuries to happen going into training camp because you know what, when you don't have all the off-season stuff, it's bound to happen. These guys are coming in. Who knows what they're doing at home with their personal gyms and their trainers. So there's going to be the soft tissue, those soft muscle issues, soft tissue issues. We get all that, but we're getting ravaged early, and it's crazy. And it's at positions we can't afford it.
Yeah, and you mentioned the strength coach getting fired, and that was something that a lot of longtime Jets were very critical of. Because this guy has been around, I think, for like 20 years or something like that. So Adam Gase, he brought in his own guy, and, that's not an excuse anymore. So, we'll see what happens there. And, yeah, I mean, you also mentioned not overreacting in the first week. I think that's important, in both ways because, we've seen in years past where, the first week is all positive. Everyone's on the same page and, there's no injuries and, we're thinking big things. And then, the trials and tribulations of the season get underway and, you have to face some adversity and you make some adjustments, and that usually doesn't happen, to the degree that we needed to. So I'm trying to take everything in stride, not overreact. There's no major injuries right now, so hopefully these guys could just get back on the field and, by week one, hopefully we're okay. And, you just get guys acclimated slowly and, the season can hopefully be salvaged. And by the second half of the season, you hope that, you're in a rhythm and guys are on the same page and playing well.
Yeah, and the one thing is, it's so funny because a lot of things we've talked about over the last 3 months are stories that are now coming out by the beat writers, and we're being called like, negative and critics and over whatever, like for the last 3 months. The same stories are coming out now, and they're all facts. And the one story that came out that Rich Cimini had was what the Jets are trying to do with their offensive line is going to be very, very difficult. And that was from an offensive line coach that told him that. Bill Muir, who used to coach the Jets, a very highly touted offensive line coach, said, you're trying to incorporate at least four new starters, with no preseason games and limited practice time. And that, he's like, it's next to impossible to do that. And to expect, like, high-level output right off the bat. And he's like, what you need to do is establish the run. You got to go through the running game. You got to simplify everything. And that's the one thing you're worried about with Adam Gase, because Adam Gase never known him to simplify anything. But he's like, you know what? The only way to get this group on the same page is simple. Keep everything simple. Establish the running game, do all these things, get them comfortable, and then, week 4, 5, 6, 7, then you open your playbook. You can't do it week 1, dude. And that's the most thing I'm going to look for the most Adam Gase, dude, because this is the blueprint. What they have to do is pretty obvious at this point.
No, I completely agree. And, the fact that you also have a rookie at your left tackle, you have some veterans elsewhere, which, should ease the transition a little bit. But, the left tackle is your most important position, arguably. And, I think that's going to take some time with Becton. He even said today he's not in the best shape of his life, which was a little bit concerning. Entering your first training camp, you would think that, he would be in the best shape of his life. But, just hopefully, like you said, these guys all are acclimated slowly and, things pick up as the season goes on.
Yeah, so it's great to see football back. It's great to see Sam Darnold pass the Perriman 50 yards. Le'Veon Bell is just a man amongst boys in terms of conditioning and his ability. It's so exciting to see him like that, taking on a leadership role. Quinnen Williams looks to be in phenomenal shape. That's great news because you need that more than ever now with Mosley and Adams gone. Marcus May is doing his thing. But to me, the biggest story, I'm not saying everybody's doing great, everybody's doing bad. To me, the biggest story is injuries and getting this team as healthy as possible, playing as well as possible by week 1. And that, to me, is going to be a challenge, dude, because they're going back in pads the next 2 days. And if you look across the NFL, when teams started going to padded practices, that's when the torn ACLs happen. So you almost you wake up every morning holding your breath, please, no, just try to get by it. Get through another day of practice without major injuries.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's the position we're in because we don't have a whole lot of depth right now. And so any major injury, especially on the offensive side of the ball, especially at wide receiver, you're going to feel that. So, when you're kind of in rebuild mode, it's all the more important to, keep as many pieces on the field as possible. And, we're struggling with some injuries right now, but like you said, it's nothing serious yet. But with the pads coming on, you hope and pray that it's, guys are just going to stay healthy.
So now we're going to bring on our very controversial co-host, Primetime, because, see, what Tyrone has learned is if you waffle or offer a bad take, not only do people hear it live on the show, they hear it on the replay, and they also attack you on social media. So you get the fire from everywhere, dude. And I think Tyrone is learning that, so let's bring him on. Tyrone, welcome back, man.
What's going on, folks? How you doing now?
Hold on.
No, hold on. Listen, man. We're gonna take this to a whole nother level, man. Number one, first of all, I'm not gonna keep getting attacked every week. I'm just letting you know this right now. I've been trying to figure all this out, get my balance on being on the show instead of being a regular caller, and now I'm co-host on the show. So I'm gonna let y'all know something, man. This is the same Tyrone from Virginia, so let's not get that twisted. So any smoke you want to have for me, anything you want to say for me, I got it with you. And Primetime, you just said on the show last week and said that you had no problem with everything. Now all of a sudden the receivers, you know what I'm saying, you're expecting Mims to to contribute this year, you expecting we all expect Herndon and Crowder. Other than that, who else do we have? Nobody. We have a bunch of no-name receivers, and that was the biggest problem with Joe Douglas. He should have drafted more than one receiver. He should have signed someone else in free agency or make a trade. So with that being said, anybody who want that smoke tonight, trust me, I'm fully available.
My point last week,
I'm not scared.
Was still that I think my point last week was still that I think the offense is in a better position.
You don't got to be scared.
Yeah, Kevin.
No, I was just saying last week that I think the offense is in a better position to succeed this year because, you just lost Adams, you just lost Mosley, and you don't have an impact cornerback or a pass rusher to really make up for that. On the offensive side of the ball, you have Sam Darnold.
So you waffling now.
What am I waffling about?
Because now we don't have no receivers prime time, so I'm wondering, who do you feel more comfortable about? You feel more comfortable about the offense this week, or you feel more comfortable about the defense right now? Because we don't have no receivers.
I said last week, and I'll say it this week, I still feel more comfortable about the offense. Who's the best player on our team right now?
Sam Darnold.
Who's our second best player?
Le'Veon Bell.
There you go. That's why I feel more comfortable about the offense. The quarterback is the most important position on the field, period. And I feel very confident in that position. And you have Bell, you have Crowder, and you have Herndon, and you sign some veterans on the O-line. Even if that takes a couple weeks to develop that chemistry, you sign some veterans there, and you invested a first-round pick. And that's Joe Douglas's area, the offensive line. So I'm trusting that pick's going to be okay, and some of the veterans are going to do at least better than last year. So from a talent standpoint, this offense, much better than the defense, in my opinion, still, even with the injuries.
So who do you feel more comfortable with? Do you feel more comfortable with our defensive coordinator or our head coach as an offensive coordinator? Because I'm wondering.
Oh, God. You're going to make me go there?
Yeah, now you're gonna have to go there today because you're gonna have to clarify this shit today, buddy. Believe that. You you couldn't wait to just give it to me last week, buddy. Trust me, I'm back in rare form, buddy.
I have more confidence in Greg Williams than I do in Adam Gase. But like I said, the talent, I think, is still better on the offensive side of the ball. And with Greg Williams, history shows that year 2, year 3, he does have some struggles. So you take away Adams now, and you're not getting back C.J. Mosley, and you still really haven't added that impact guy. I wonder what this defense is going to look like.
Absolutely. I mean, so far what I listened to you guys say today, you guys covered everything we've been saying. And like I said, man, listen, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I understand that we have problems all over the place. I still feel that we're a better team than we were last year. We have more talent than we had last year. And I think my biggest thing I've been saying all year long, Le'Veon Bell and Sam Darnold are going to make a major leap this year, and that's what's going to get us over the edge right there. Defense, man, I think Greg Williams will figure it out, man. Listen, we went up without no linebackers last year. We didn't know who our cornerbacks were going to be last year.
We also didn't play Russell Wilson last year. We didn't play Patrick Mahomes last year. We didn't play all the other guys last year. We played friggin' Duck Hodges and a bunch of other bozos.
Okay, well, listen, I'll give you that, Tyson. I'll say, Super Bowl MVP. Russell Wilson, absolutely. Name somebody on that list that you really scared of. You really scared of Josh Allen? He really scares you you know what I'm saying? He really scares you? Jimmy Garoppolo scares you? Come on, bro. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Those elite players are elite players for a reason. That's what they've been doing what they've been doing.
So wait, hold on a second. All of a sudden we have this legitimate pass rush and 3 proven corners. That doesn't make you scared? Like all of a sudden you're overconfident? Like, who is Phillip Rivers? Who is Jared Goff? Who's this? Dude, who the hell do we have? Who is our number one corner that's going to stop everybody? Like Pierre Desir's got a bad hamstring. And what Pierre Desir are we getting? Last year's Pierre Desir or 2018? Like to be overconfident on defense is funny, dude. Like who the hell did we beat last year that we're so confident about?
It's not being overconfident. The teams I'm looking at, like San Francisco, the Rams, I'm looking at Seattle. All these teams are major teams.
They were just in the Super Bowl.
They're physical on both sides of the football.
Hey, listen.
What the hell kind of Kool-Aid you drinking down there?
San Francisco wants to run the ball. The majority of the things they do is run the ball. The one thing we do well is stop the run. I'm comfortable with that. It's also a 1 o'clock game on the East Coast. They come from the West Coast, which makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Listen, hold on. I just got done listening to y'all drinking the whole Kool-Aid, man. So like good dreams and positive vibes and stuff.
Let alone Debo Samuel. Who's covering George Kittle?
Yo, ain't Debo saying you out for the first? You know what I'm saying?
Debo.
Ain't Debo
but see,
saying
the only thing is, but Tyrone. But you know what, Tyrone? Here's the difference between John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, Adam Gase, Joe Douglas. The San Francisco 49ers. Here's the difference. Besides the enormous coaching difference, when they have injuries, they go sign every fucking receiver available on the goddamn free agent market. We have no receivers, and we signed one, Chris Hogan. Like, we'll be fine. We got Braxton Berrios, and we got Jeff Smith. We're good. The 49ers are bringing receivers every day trying them out.
You know what's so
but
crazy?
That's just me.
The funny part is
I'm right.
Boy Smith. Now, I watched somebody put on Twitter a couple of days ago how good he is. He's a superstar, bro. Listen, he's on the practice squad.
Here.
Undrafted free agent on the practice squad, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is, dude? This is the time. Listen, you know what? This is the time of year. Like I tell you, and I'm guilty of this too, because Primetime and I have been at training camp every year for the last 3 or 4 years. We go watch, and we'll fall in love with players. Like, dude, I was the biggest Romar Morris fan in the goddamn country. I thought he was a phenomenal running back, could do it all. Didn't even make the fucking team. So all these little cute YouTube highlights and the shit that the Jets are putting out on their website, oh, Jeff Smith is this and this and that, all these feel-good stories go right to shit week one when they can't go up the line of scrimmage or they don't even make the goddamn roster. So it comes down to proven talent, game-breaking talent. And right now, like you look at this, and I'm telling you, you got to pray to God Jamison Crowder stays healthy, Herndon stays healthy, and Adam Gase gets his head out of his ass and runs the football.
Hey, bro, listen, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you, and I will say I was drinking the Kool-Aid on this shit right here. I was really believing in Vincent Smith last year, bro, so you know how bad it was for me. You know, I'm really trying to hype myself up that he was going to be good this year, so trust me. The biggest issue I have, man, is Joe Douglas did not grab 2 receivers in this draft. Now, you watch the kid from Penn State that went to Denver. I don't know if you've seen that highlight reel.
Yep.
Bro, he's just killing it out there right now. That's a player we could have had in the 3rd round easily that could have really came in and compete with us. That's the kind of problems I have. Is But I'm going to take you to task too, by the way, because you all of a sudden feel confident in our defense. So you want to discount Josh Allen? That's fine. They play the Colts. Kyler Murray and his cast of characters. Do you feel comfortable against DeAndre Hopkins, Larry Fitzgerald, all those guys? I don't. Do you feel comfortable with Russell Wilson, all those guys? Baker Mayfield and his cast of characters, a lot better than anything we have. The 49ers, very good team. The Denver Broncos are loaded at wide receiver, dude. I mean, look at these defenses. We have like Jerry Jeudy, Handler, Courtland Sutton, Noah Fant. And then you have what? You have the Chargers, the Kansas City Chiefs. Come on, dude. This defense gets tested almost every week. No, I'm not. No, listen, I'm not solely sold on the defense. I just think I think we're in a good position right now for what we have. I mean, losing Jamal and losing CJ Mosley.
What do we have?
I mean, listen. Compared to the 2 players that we lost and what we went through last year, we're in a better situation because we're healthy right now, and we remain healthy. I trust Greg Williams. I trust him to be able every week to keep us in games.
Where are we better this year as opposed to last year? On defense, where are we better this year than we were last year? On defense.
I think we have more linebacker depth than we had last year. Without, you know what I'm saying? Listen, we went out every week. We didn't know who the hell was going to be our starting linebackers. You know what I'm saying? We had Neville Hewitt for a while. He gets hurt. Then Burgess comes in. He gets hurt. You know what I'm saying? We had Cashman. He gets hurt. You know, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So this is the whole problem with it. I just think this year they're more prepared at that position, and I think that having more versatile players. I think if a player like Cashman can stay healthy, he can really help us out in the long run because he's great in coverage stuff that you know what I'm saying. Listen, and I think the one thing that we're not looking at is having so many players that's not not the big names. You have to coach better now. So now we're going to really see what Greg Williams is really about because you don't have a guy like Jamal or CJ Mosley you can depend on and lean on to fix everything. Now every guy's responsible for his own action. You know what I'm saying? Just like with the offense. I'm not expecting the offensive line to be great, and any good coach will understand that you have to run the football. You have to give Becton because he's struggling in pass rushing from everything I'm hearing on reports. So you have to get this kid acclimated to be able to run the football. That's the best thing to go with it.
No, and listen, I agree with you. Like you watch the clips, and like this is where, you almost like I hate preseason games. I hate them more than anything. But like you almost wish you had something just to get these guys just hit and just communicate and yell at each other and figure it out. And like the only good thing is that you have a guy like Quinnen Williams and that can really go after Becton and really kind of push him. George Jacobs could push him, but it's. Man, it's just crazy, dude. Like you now, I'm at the point now. I'm like, find a way to script your team and don't get hurt. That's kind of where you're at.
Yeah, and the funny part, Tyson, is what I'm saying. What kind of the scariest thing is this, man? No preseason games. So I listened to Gates' interview today, and he was saying that he's going to try to figure out a way. I guess how he did the green and white scrimmage, something like that, to get these guys some physical play. But I'm to the point now. I don't even know if I want to do that because you don't want these guys getting hurt. You don't want these guys losing or going out here and injuring themselves or being injured in a meaningless game. It's going to suck. It's going to be a hell of a learning curve this year.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said, I was so excited. It's so cool to see guys back on the field doing their thing. It's super cool. And then it's like you see Mims get hurt, and you're like, dude, the last thing you want is lost seasons for these guys because you want to find out your building blocks. And it's like you look at it and 4 members of your freaking class. it's like of all places, of all people, and again, we didn't have a lot of expectations for Denzel Mims. We were saying 35, 40 catches, but you want him on the field, you want him learning and developing and do it because you only have 26 days till the first game. It's just the time it's just of the essence now.
And what scares me the most, man, is only having Perriman there. Teams are going to rotate and really, double team Perriman. And then they're going to then they're going to stack the box. I think the one thing that we got, though, that's really going to help us is Chris Herndon. I think he's really be able to open the middle of the field up. That's definitely going to be a major impact. But not having a receiver on the other side of the field is almost like playing against the Royal Reavers. One side of the field is shut down. That is so dangerous, and something has to be done. And bringing in Hogan, don't get me wrong, Hogan's a solid veteran, but he's not a player that teams are really going to prepare for to really put that fear in your heart. He does get open, but I mean it's scary. That lack of, and it's the funny part with us. This is our story. We always fix one part and then something else fucks up. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we do. Our O-line stuck like hell, so we fix the O-line with new receivers. You know what I'm saying? This is our story, man. So it's nothing new around here, man. It's just what it is.
But the thing is too is now you got to you almost need, I know, I'm not drinking Kool-Aid myself tonight, but you almost need Adam Gase to scheme these guys open. He's got to come up with game plans to get these guys in space and let Sam flourish. And I'm not really sure how he's going to do that. I mean, that could be with the running game. If you can establish the running game, you play action pass, you do all kinds of things, or, I don't know, but Gase has got to be creative, dude. He has really got to bail this team out.
He can't. Well, the one thing he can't do is the little BS screens he was running last year. And like I said, man, Tyson, he has to establish the run. I think just to get these guys acclimated. Can you imagine starting the first game of the season with no OTAs? I don't even know what kind of training camp this is. No preseason games, and getting these guys to go out there and play competitive football, and you want to send them through the ball 40 times a game, bro. That's just nuts. That's a recipe for disaster. So I think with Becton, the one thing we have to understand with Becton is he's going to have his highs and lows. He's going to have his ups and he's going to have his downs. If everyone understands that, because from what I'm hearing is Double J's been giving his ass that work. You know what I'm saying? But also they've been saying Quentin Williams is out there just manhandling everybody. So if Quentin has a big year, plus with Vakasi, plus with everyone else that we have on the line, man, I think that, we can make a little noise. But the one thing about creating a pass rush, there was asking Greg Williams about, there was actually Adam Gates about creating a pass rush. And he was like, well, we want to be like the Patriots, the no-name defense. I mean, that's a great answer to have. But if you're not able to get these guys in the backfield and these guys have time, I don't care. If you play against Russell Wilson and you give him time to pick you apart, he's going to pick your ass apart. You already know what the kid in Kansas City is going to do. I don't care what you throw at him. He's just.
But not even that.
He's amazing,
look at the first. To your point, look at the first 2 weeks of the season. If you don't have your shit together, the Buffalo Bills are going to smack you up and down the field on both sides of the football. They're going to play physical football on both sides. If you're not ready for it, Sam's going to get his ass beat, and we're going to get our asses beat. And then the one thing I like is that, according to everybody, Sam's taking a leadership role, which is great and all this, but we need to protect him. We need to get him back on track and get him in sync in his offense, which he seems to have a better grasp of, which we won't know till week 1. But you got to protect him, dude. We cannot start out week 1 when he's, 10 of 25 with 6 sacks and his nose bleeding.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing about it. This is where coaching comes in. I mean, especially with Buffalo, we know we got to match Buffalo's intensity. The one thing we know, Buffalo's going to be very physical. They're going to be very aggressive. That's what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Then you have Hughes coming off the end against Becton. He's going to test that young man. He's going to say a lot of things he's not ready for. So, that also comes to in-game adjustments. You have to now, okay, if this kid needs a little help,
We should
put some
sign
help
a
on the side,
fullback or
chip blocker. Just something that, just being a good head coach will understand that, and I'm hoping the Gates understands that, listen, we have to get Sam comfortable. We have to get Sam acclimated. We have to get this line acclimated. You're putting 4 players that's never played, 5 players who've never played together, and expect these guys to produce at a high level. That's just going to be some bumps in the road. And I just hope that he doesn't have these long drawn out plays. And I think with Mims, if you do Mims on a 5 or 10 yard, 7 yard slants, he will be good. He's a big physical receiver if we can get him on the field. But you have a hamstring injury already. Pierre Desir, you already have a hamstring injury. That's what killed you in the Colts. So that it's scary, man. Like I said, Bryce Hall. I've been big on Bryce Hall since we drafted Bryce Hall. I just knew what kind of player he was. So him not even being able to him still being injured, plus coming in with COVID, I hold my balls, but this shit sucks.
Well, the thing is too. I was thinking about this though. Based on what we're talking about, I can make a pretty good argument we should sign a fullback. We really should. You should go to a 2-back set, have a fullback in front of Bell and ground the pound and have that extra blocker in the backfield to help protect Sam. Unless you want to go Gore and Bell at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be something I would love to see, too. I would love to see Gore and Bell in the backfield at the same time. I think that would be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something, you have to get creative this year. You can't just come out with these simple game plans, but at the same time, you can't overcomplicate the game plan either. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think ground and pound will work, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to run the ball in your throat till you stop us. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm planning on doing, So Becton, I don't know if you heard about it, but Becton had this big – he pancaked Neville Hewitt 20 yards down the field on a running play. He just knocked his socks off, man. He's
got 120 pounds on, dude. I'd hope he would.
Exactly. Let this kid set the tone, man. Let this kid be that piece that sets the tone in the running game. Look, we're just going to run the ball in your damn throat. We don't care what you do. We're going to bust in your damn mouth. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to do.
All right, so we're going to bring on Brian. Good.
Nah, we just can't get Sam killed this year. We can't get Sam killed this year. That's all. Now, bring Brian on. Let's get the callers rolling.
Oh, Tyrone's all business tonight. Brian, what's up, man?
You can count on Tyrone.
Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely, baby. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
You gotta love
Big Daddy
this guy.
back.
I love all you guys. You guys are the fucking shit. I gotta say, you guys have a great show. Guys, I think there's one thing that nobody's talking about right now. That is nobody has mentioned Ryan Griffin. There's a reason why he got 10.8. I understand that, but so was half the team. He could be I'm not saying they can beat the next Gronkowski Hernandez, all right? But I'm saying both of them put together, I know we're one thing away from Crowder gets hurt, we're fucked. We are.
Yep.
You got Vincent Smith that everybody thought was going to be this speedster guy, but he kind of proved he doesn't really have hands and stuff too. You know what I mean? There's so many different angles that you can attack on the offense that are terrible right now. It's just true. Because we haven't proved anything. Is Adam Gase? Probably not. He's probably not the future. I don't think so. And I believe this season is going to say it. If he can't do anything with Le'Veon Bell, I think Joe Douglas is going to be like, fuck the friendship. Dude, you got to go.
So Brian, do you think the offense is going to be what? Ground and pound, feature the tight ends, and then take some deep shots down the field to Perryman? Is that how you're going to run your offense?
I mean, if we can get somebody healthy, that's the way we can do it. But we can't do it if nobody's healthy. The ground and pound has got it. Like you said before, okay, this is something that we have to do in the beginning because of lack of – there's no preseasons. There's no preseason games. What else can you get? Just start chucking
I got to chime in with something here.
Yeah.
Hold on one sec. So I'm even saying we have to ground and pound. I think that's obvious. But the problem is I think Buffalo and McDermott, they definitely know that, and the Niners definitely know that. And those are teams with very stout front sevens. So you're obviously going to see plenty of 7 in the box, 8 in the box. So if you're Adam Gase, what is your plan to beat that? I mean, do you trust Sam Darnold, dropping back on first down, throwing deep passes? Are you going to allow him to do that? Or are we going to do what we did last year, try and run it on first and second and set him up, third and long? How do we get creative where we can still ground and pound, but where it's not so obvious, for the opposing defense? That's where Adam Gase is really going to get tested.
Right.
Well,
I think if we throw to Crowder another 14 times. Remember that first week we threw to Crowder 14 times?
No,
I think what happens. Is this right here, though. I think what you have to do is you have to use the ground and pound. Then you have to employ Herndon over the middle. You know what I'm saying? Then you use Crowder. You know what I'm saying? Short passes. I think that's how you get Buffalo. You have to make them be honest. If you allow Buffalo to put 7, 8 in the box, there's no way we're gonna run the football with a new offensive line or not. But if you have a Perriman, you have a Crowder 1-on-1, and you have a Herndon creeping out, or even if you stretch Herndon out, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Or if you put a 2-back set, like Tyson said, you could throw Le'Veon left and
even
go
with the
right.
Le'Veon as a receiver.
Yeah, but even last year you had plenty of options for 2-back sets with Ty Montgomery and Bilal Powell, 2 guys that I think are better than P. Ryan and Gore catching the ball out of the backfield, and we didn't even use that. So I don't know if we even have that second option to put with Bell, that would really be, a threat coming out of the backfield, where coverage linebackers would have to worry about it. So I worry about what we're going to do as far as on the outsides at wide receiver, because we like Herndon, we like Crowder, and we like Bell. But those are all guys that are going to be effective over the middle of the field, I feel like. So what do you have on the outsides that's going to scare a defense to not put 8 in the box?
Well, what about going with a 2-back set and then and putting Le'Veon out? You know what I'm saying? Adding Le'Veon in the slot or something like that. Like I said, we knew last year Le'Veon was our best running back. And Brian, you made a really good point when you said that if you can't use Le'Veon Bell, then you're about the dumbest person on the earth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you can't figure out how to get him the football in his hand, so that's going to be a difficult thing to do. But I really think that if we employ that simple stuff in the beginning, it'll work. I mean, I think Gates really understands that he has to adjust his way of thinking, because if not, we're going to get killed. And I do trust Sam prime time on first and second down. I really do. I think Sam's going to make the right decision. Don't get me wrong. Sam's going to have some growing pains, but Sam is going to make the right decisions. He can make every throw. Just getting the pieces. The only thing that scares me is having the pieces to get him the ball. That's what scares me the most.
There is one thing I do want to say here, and this is it's not off topic, but it kind of segues into it. Looking at all these new faces that we have, and most of them, or a quarter of them, are hurt right now, which is ridiculous, right? But if you notice, everybody from all the past seasons, they're gone. You're talking about who is it? Jenkins? Is he's
Yep.
the longest tenure?
Yeah, him and McClendon. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, nobody wants to hear it right now. Joe Douglas secretly just said, "Hey, yeah, that this is a rebuild. This is exactly what it was," and he did it so
exactly
slick
what this
that
is.
Adams trade made it a rebuild.
Nobody wants to come up to the plate. Yeah, and the thing is, he did it kind of slick. He was like, we got 2 other guys, Anunwa, would love to have him healthy, but he's not healthy. Save the money. I think this is exactly what he's doing. He got all of his guys that he wanted, and he's like, hey, guys, guess what? Get on the fucking field and show me exactly what you got. Whoever is going to be on that field is going to prove it to me this year. And
dude, I agree.
This is going to sound terrible.
Yeah,
this is going to sound terrible. If we have a COVID-19 season where everything just gets wiped out and we don't have a season, that actually might be better for us.
No, what actually screws us, to be honest with you, is this COVID season killing college football. So now we have 2 first-round picks and no idea what the fuck we're going to draft. That's the problem.
Absolutely.
The craziest thing is, like, we might actually have a team where all right, so they're saying what Mekhi Becton had, he was all inside the virtual meetings and everything, and he was studying, and he actually said, he was like, it was hard. It was really difficult. It was one of the most difficult things I had to do. He's like, I didn't expect it to be that difficult. And it's like, well, yeah, you're kind of up, you're here. But then when the coaches said that, hey, you know what? He came through, and we didn't expect him to do certain things that he did. But he does have that problem with pass protection. We need to get that, we need to get that now. It's not we can't get that next year. We need that now, because otherwise we're just going to have a 365-pound blob that you double team, and then Sam gets sacked from behind.
Hey, well, Brian, hold on. Pardon your wisdom for 1 second. No, listen, that's the whole issue right there, because if you have Double J beating him, and I'm not knocking Double J. We know Double J is solid in his own right, but Double J is nowhere near the top echelon of the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Double J, if Double J is blowing by you, we know when real players, Hughes and the players we got to play, the Bosa's, those players they're going to really give you a hard day. So that's where coaching comes in and get this kid coached up. And what you said earlier about virtual, some kids don't learn like that. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of kids that's going to school virtually now, are not going to be able to learn because the simple fact is it's not hands-on. Some people are hands-on. They can't just, listen to you talk and then go out there and apply it on the field, So the more reps he gets, the better he is. And that's the scary thing. If this kid can just stay healthy, I think with his athletic ability and his football and his basketball background, he'll be able to adjust. It might not look pretty, but I think he'll get the job done.
Yeah, but Tyrone,
he's going to get beat.
It's not up to him to adjust. It's up to Gage to not put him on an island and get roasted continuously.
Yes, that's exactly
if you see him struggle, you got to get him help. Like, don't let him watch him over and over, and don't give him any kind of help, rollover coverage, stuff like that. Add in like a fullback or a tight end or a running back behind him or whatever the hell it is. Give him help.
Definitely. Chip blocker. But that's what I think about having McGovern in is such a blessing for us because he'll be able to make those calls and I think him just having an understanding how a proper line should run is being able to see things before it happens and let them know that we need help over here, slide protection over here. You know what I'm saying? And I think Lewis has to be big for him as well. You have to give this kid help because you cannot expect this kid to go on the island and hold his own against some of the best players in the world, bro. Just not going to happen, bro. And we're going to need some real pass rushers this year. San Francisco, monsters. You know what I'm saying? The monsters. Buffalo, monsters. And they're going to test them because I would. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the same thing we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, we're going to have a bunch to roll with him. But the receivers scare me more than anything.
Hey, is it still wrong to say I still want to see Braden Mann do his thing?
That's my favorite. That's my favorite player.
I'm so excited to see this kid kick it out of the goddamn stadium. This dude, if we play Dallas, he's gonna hit the TV.
Hey, listen, did y'all see what team it was? I forgot what team it was. The rookie punter that got Panthers. That's it. Who punted the ball 7 yards backwards, bro? Wow. Wow. Could you imagine that being us, bro? That happened in the game, bro. We'll probably the whole
this
fucking
is the Jets we're talking about. This can happen.
Brian, thanks for calling it, man. We appreciate it.
No doubt, guys.
Hey,
have a
good
great
night,
night.
Have a good night, Brett.
So now, this is the call I'm looking forward to because there's a lot of build-up for this next caller because last week's show, I think Primetime and I held our own. We kind of tried to calm down the circus. A lot of circus happened. And then once the show ended, all of a sudden, all this Twitter beef came out. And I don't know what happened, but our good friend Shaq had a lot to say. We're going to bring on Shaq now, but we've got to give him a proper introduction here. Hold on a second because this is going to be a lot of fun here.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Mr. Doom and Gloom, what's up, Shaq?
Hey man, it's a lot of me going on right now. But look, I'm gonna give you guys the opposite. I'm gonna bring some positivity here. This is a rarity, so please keep this recorded and put it somewhere and just hide it. But I think we could be successful if we run the ball, zone runs, play action, and then when Mims come back, Pyramid come back, let's use their 4-3 speed, man. Let's use it for something positive. You know what I'm saying? Let's use it. You know what I'm saying? Let's show how good they really are and how fast they really are. If we give the ball to Lev, give the ball to Frank Gore, give a little bit of sprinkle of touches to P-Ron, you know what I'm saying? Just try to run the ball a good amount of times. Make sure Lev get the ball 20 to 25 times. That's catching too. You know what I'm saying? Just have this offense just be him and Sam. That's it. And on defense, a lot of people kill the corners, but I don't think the corners is. They got a little bit better, but they're not great. But we can make up. Listen.
Can you tell me? Hold on. The corners got better. The corners got better. Can you tell me what the fuck we have at corner? We don't even know what we have at corner. What do we have other than Brian Poole? We don't even know.
Listen. Let me sprinkle this positivity here. This is rare. Let me do it.
Bullshit is what you're sprinkling. This is nonsense.
Look, listen. All right. Well, depends on how Pierre Desir is.
Okay,
if he's not healthy,
look at the Buffalo Bills. Okay, Shaq, I'm just gonna squash all your bullshit right off the bat. The Buffalo Bills: Stephon Diggs, John Brown, Beasley, Devin Singletary, Zach Moss. They're gonna go three? Say they go three wide: Diggs, John Brown, and Beasley. You feel comfortable us manning up man to man with those three guys?
hey, man, you blitz the hell out of them, you never know what can happen.
That's your answer?
Yes. That could be a solution.
So now we're going to blitz. So now you're going to blitz. And so now you're going to blitz and put these guys on an island. Good idea, man. What a great idea.
I'd rather that than have the quarterback sit in the pocket all day and watch the corners get killed. They're going to get killed regardless.
Wait.
Do
you
something.
said the corners. Wait, hold on. The corners are going to get killed. The corners you just said that weren't that bad. Now they're going to get killed. Which one is it? Are they not that bad?
No, I said it's an improvement. It's an improvement.
Improvement.
It's definitely better than last year.
What exactly is improved? What is improved? Brian Poole is a constant. He's coming back. So Pierre Desir, we hope is the key word. The whole if. Our team is the king of if.
Johnson.
If better. So if he's
healthy and plays back
to the level, if he's that, then we don't know what Bless Austin is. We don't know what Nate Harrison is. We don't know what these guys are. We have no idea. We don't know what Arthur Millette is. Because you know what? This year they're all going to face much better receivers and much better quarterbacks. So now we're going to learn what they are.
Yes, that's why I said, man. Foremost, we get the ground and pound going, man. Get time of possession. We get hold of time of possession. We can stay within these games.
Look, first and foremost, man, hold on, man. Let's stop all this right here. Let me say something, man.
This
Shaq
is
being positive, man. I've never heard this shit before. So
he's waffled. He just waffled in the last 5 seconds. He waffled. He said the secondary wasn't that bad. And then I asked him a question. He couldn't even fucking answer it. He's waffled.
I
did.
Shaq is
bullshit.
Hey, Shaq, I'm proud of you, Shaq, man. Because look, I need
what are you proud of? Are we lowering our standards here? What are we lowering the positivity? How are you proud of?
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
All he's trying to do is get back in the good graces of everybody. No, I've got another hour. All you're trying to do is stay in the good graces so nobody attacks you on Twitter. That's all it is.
Hey, Shaq, look here, man. I'm going to say one thing, man. Look, if they attack you on Twitter, man, it is what it is. Hey, look, I got a real question for you, Shaq. So how you feeling about Mekhi Becton, man, be on the island by himself, man? What do you think is going to be his biggest issues with him this year, bro? Like, what do you expect from him? And what would you do? What should our head coach do to help him out?
I think, like I said, man, if we run the ball, you know what I'm saying? Just run it to his side. Let's show if he really as strong as they say he is. Let's run to his side. You know what I'm saying? Play action, man. Get some of that pressure off Sam. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna expect run, and just slow, get this offense going a little bit. Slow it down a little bit. Get the time of possession. We dominate the time of possession. We won't have to be on defense.
Yeah,
as much.
Shaq, Kevin's right though. Kevin's right. Right now, the Buffalo Bills are sitting in their facility saying, you know what? We're going to stack the box, and we're going to dare Sam Darnold to beat us. We're going to dare Becton to hold his own as we put a tremendous amount of pressure on him. Then what do?
That 4-3 speed, man. We got two guys that run 4-3s, man. They want to be one-on-ones with these guys? Go ahead, man. Tell me, man. Play action and everything, man. Stack the box. That's when we get those receivers down there, man. Nobody could guard Jamison Crowder one-on-one. Come on now. Come on, man. Let's go, man. Let's go.
So now
let's do it.
So now you're air gaze. So your offense is now going to be air gaze. You're going to air it out 30, 40 times a game to offset the stack box.
No. But if they want to do that, like I said, man, get that play action going, man. Get the home runs going.
Here's what has to happen.
Outside counters.
I don't know if you guys remember. Back in 2018 with the Rams, Sean McVay was in Jared Goff's headset until that 15-second mark when it goes off on almost every single play. That's why the Rams were able to go to the Super Bowl that year, right? Sean McVay was in his ear on every single play. We have to have trust that Adam Gase can be that offensive guy, and he can help Sam Darnold to diagnose what he's seeing on the field. And when there are 8 in the box, you have to be able to make adjustments and have another play ready that he's comfortable in and that he's confident in that can beat that defense. That's coaching 101. Have two plays ready to do something that Peyton Manning always did also, and he beat us plenty of times with that. So, you have to have this guy ready, with multiple plays as he goes up to the line of scrimmage and to be able to diagnose what he sees, which is something that you do in the film room. And then, you make your adjustments from there. If you just come out trying to ground and pound, you're going to be sitting third and long every fucking drive, and you're going to be putting 3 and out every drive. So you have to almost go opposite what you see. If they're stacking the box, you got to take a chance. Throw the ball, get the ball out of Sam's hand quick, do some play action, things like that. And then once you leave the defense on the field for a couple plays, then you can start grounding and pounding and try to wear them out. That's how the Jets have to do this, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, especially if you get one-on-one on the outside prime time, that works well. But I'm gonna still be honest with you too. I still think with the ground and pound, I think Le'Veon with 8 in the box don't matter. I think Le'Veon gonna do his thing regardless. I said run behind Becton and just keep doing it till it breaks, till it can stop. Yep. That's what it is. But that's a great idea.
It's a fullback out there, man. Zone runs, man, stretches. You know what I'm saying? Counters. Get to the outside of the box. Come on, get them guards pulling, man. Get the guards in the secondary. Then Lev Cadoodle go to work. This works. It works.
And having Mims on the slant.
My goodness.
Then leaving Mims one-on-one, Perriman one-on-one, 4-3 speed. Come on, man. They got to respect the speed. Take advantage of the speed. Come on. Come on, Tyson.
Come on. Shaq. Also, Shaq. I'll defend you on one thing. What you said about the defense. I do think that for this defense to succeed, it's got to be a ton of blitzes. Because if you're just sitting there, dropping 7 guys back into coverage, I'm sorry, you're going to get picked apart because you're not getting pressure any other way. So you have to have confidence that Marcus May, and not only him, but Bradley McDougald, who's I think he was top 10 according to PFF in coverage last year. You have to trust that those 2 guys, as well as Ashton Davis, they can give your cornerbacks a little bit of help, and that the blitz is actually going to get there. In addition to Quinnen Williams taking a step this year, because I think him and Mekhi Becton, those are the 2 linchpins of this team. If those guys can be what we need them to be, then I think this team might have a shot to do some things. Because it all starts in the trenches. If you can get the interior pressure, and if you can protect Sam, that's a hell of a start. So go ahead.
Yeah. Then the guys don't even have to. You don't even have to man up all the time. You can zone blitz. Rex did it. He zone blitz. You know what I'm saying? Confuse the quarterback. Just make sure you send more than 4, more than 5. Just send the whole damn team. Fuck it. Just send the whole team. Come on, man. We got it.
Oh, my God.
Come on, Tyson. Join the club. Join the club, man. Join the club.
Shaq says send the
that
whole
makes sense, right?
team, bro.
See, Shaq is saying all this shit now. He's going to say all this shit now until the game they do that and it doesn't work, and he'll be the first one calling in. I can't believe they blitz like that. This is bullshit. What are they doing? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying a thing you're saying, man. You're fluffing us. There's no doubt about this.
Come on.
I'm not buying positive Shaq. There's no way.
I just sipped a little bit of Kool-Aid before this phone call. I sipped the green Kool-Aid, and I did it. That's all we got to do is just hope. We just got to hope, man. Just got to hope.
That's all
we got.
That's all we ever do.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling it, man.
You like that, Tyson?
Thanks for calling it. Thanks for calling it, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, have a good night, Shaq. Positivity, Shaq, baby.
So, Tyrone, I got a question for you.
What you got?
What are we hoping to see over the next 3 weeks here? I mean, obviously you watch training camp reports that you can't. Reporters aren't going to do a lot. They're not going to tell us a lot because they're not allowed to under the NFL standards. What are we hoping to see here? Just the team staying healthy? I mean, what do you like? Is there anything you're looking for? Like, I don't even know what to like. It's so hard when we can't watch preseason games, man. Like, we don't even know what to look for.
I mean, honestly, is definitely getting healthy, getting some of these receivers back. Definitely being able to nobody really getting with a serious injury to send us back. Also, and I like to see the guys just keep putting forth that effort. I think that's the biggest thing with us right now, and maybe even a move or two, man. Like I said, I'm still worried about our receiver, even with the receivers that we do have. If all of them were healthy, I still, I still feel bad without having a true veteran out there to really help Sam out. So if the guy, and then I want to see some of these rookies, man. Some of these guys we got, Bryce Hall. I want to see these guys play. I want to see these guys practice. If they're not ready, that's fine. I have a problem with that. But I want these guys on the field because they now everything's intensified. So you're really losing time not being able to be able to be on the field. You're losing. You're losing weeks.
Yeah, but here's the question, though. But the question is this. This is a report that's starting to annoy me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It's the Jets have $30 million in cap space, and I listened to 2 interviews today with 2 different analysts, and they both said their belief is the Jets want to carry this money over to next year because the salary cap number is going to go down. They want to be armed for all that. But I'm like, listen, man, we have legitimate holes here. Like, we have areas of concern. Like, I understand that you're not going to go out and sign Jadeveon Clowney, and I'm fine with that. But if you have the ability to go get a receiver and it's going to cost you some money, then you need to do it. Like I don't want to be, paying. Like, don't just sell me Demaryius Thomas and Chris Hogan because that's what's good for the team. Like, I want to see Joe Douglas get a little aggressive here. And if he has the ability to make a trade or bring in a receiver and it's going to cost you some money, I really don't give a shit. Because the goal of this is to make your offense and Sam better. And the only way to do that is have receivers. So these reports about him, go ahead, Kevin.
No, you know when that's going to happen? When this team comes out early in the season and shows that they're ready to compete. Just like in 2009 when they went 3-0 to start that season. They're like, oh, okay, now we need to get a weapon for Mark Sanchez. So they went out and they traded for Braylon. If they come out this year and they show that they can actually be competitive, win a couple games, before the trade deadline, then I would not be surprised at all to see Joe Douglas, make a trade, give up some of the draft capital that he's got, as well as, the cap space that we have, and make a legitimate move. But doing it right now, as you're kind of in that rebuild mode, I think he wants all the draft ammo that he could get. And
but dude, you're not in rebuild mode, dude. Dude,
they are in rebuild mode.
You look at this wide receiver group right now with the injuries, especially. This isn't rebuild. Today alone, they had 7 wide receivers available. Brace yourself for this all-star cast: Perryman, Crowder, Jeff Smith, Jehu Chesson, Josh Malone, Lawrence Cager, and George Campbell.
Exactly why you're in rebuild mode. Exactly why they're in rebuild mode.
Exactly why you need to go out and sign some goddamn players. Like, he's got to be aggressive, dude. Don't
Absolutely.
like everybody. Like, I don't have a name. Like, everybody's give me a name. But listen, this is his job to scour the teams and say, listen, especially now with this draft class where next year we don't even know if there's no college football. We don't even know what we're going to be drafting. So you know what? I'd even take some chances. Like, you know what? I'll give you my second-round pick, my third-round pick, because I don't know what the fuck I'm getting anyway, and give me a guy that can help Sam this year.
No, this is the problem I have, Tyson. I'm so sick of this rebuild bullshit. My problem is this. I give us a competitive rebuild to where we're competing for something, but not giving Sam any targets. How can you expect Sam to really develop and take this next jump with no solid receivers? Nobody depend. Look, I wouldn't mind them kicking the tires on Des Bryant. Bring somebody in that has done this. You know what I'm saying? Who has done this at a high level, man.
It's August 18th, though. It's August fucking 18th. We're 26 days away from the season. Why are we talking about adding these receivers now? Joe Douglas had 6 months to do this. If he didn't think this receiving group was good enough, he had 6 months to make a move and bring somebody in. What, were we depending on Denzel Mims to say, hell, that was the move that was going to change the offense? He was putting all his faith in a rookie? I don't think so. So he must have enough belief in Perriman and Crowder and whatever else we have here. Otherwise,
that's all we have is Perriman. All we have is Perriman and Crowder. We don't have anybody else. I mean, we already have.
Berrios in the building for a full year, and you got a couple other guys that are 6'4", 4.3 speed. Maybe he wants to give them a look at. Dude, we obviously need wideouts, but I'm saying that. What?
Berrios? Did you just say Berrios?
Yeah,
did you say that shit on TV? Did you say that over the air, bro? Like, seriously? You really said that?
Listen, the Patriots wanted to get him on the practice squad, so yeah, I'll give Douglas credit for that. He's scooped him up. I think he can have a role in this offense. Only problem is I think
we have to have higher standards.
He'd be in the slot. He'd be over the middle. I don't think he gives us anything that we don't have right now. That's the only issue. But I think he could be an effective wideout. The same way Deontay Burnett, he's making plays for the Eagles right now. Who's the other guy? Greg Dortch with Carolina. I think he's still, doing returns over there. So, all these guys that we got rid of, they're contributing elsewhere. So why can't we have some guys that we bring in that actually contribute here? We brought in Berrios, and we got rid of Burnett and Dortch last year, who were doing things elsewhere. So to expect Berrios to be able to contribute here, why is that crazy?
Okay, so you're happy with our wide receiver group, and you think everything's fine?
I'm not, but are you going to invest a ton of money this year? I don't know.
What? Dude, it depends who comes available. To me, I would like to see him be aggressive.
Who's available right now that you'd want to give a ton of money to?
I mean, do you consider trying to make a play for Juju? Would you go after Juju Smith-Schuster?
Absolutely, if you could get him. I mean, that's the guy that you're obviously building long-term with, with Sam Darnold. They have the connection with USC. There's a chance he might not be a Steeler after next year. So, yeah, if you could get a guy like that, long-term, like a DeAndre Hopkins when he was available, absolutely you do that. But my issue is that you had 6 months to try to make that move, and it didn't seem like we wanted to. So what, we're going to make a panic move now and spend a ton of money or give up draft capital?
It's not a panic move now, because now everybody sold us on Vincent Smith. He's out 5 to 8 weeks. People are trying to make a case for Josh Doxson. He opted out. Denzel Mims has got a bad hamstring. God knows when he's coming back. You just lost 3 receivers. So Chris Hogan is a veteran guy, a speedster. I'll give you that.
That's your own fault for depending on guys that didn't have proven track records. So you don't make a panic move now in a team that you're not really expecting to do a whole lot this year. I know in that building,
but I understand. So we lower our expectations so we don't try to upgrade. Like, I don't understand that. Like, if I like, what drives me crazy is you look at the workouts for the Jets. It's been running backs, it's been tight ends. Like, I would have in 20 receivers every goddamn day, trying people out to see what we could find. Like, that's what I would be doing. Like, it should be priority number one. Build around Sam more than your offensive line. Like, I understand we have Le'Veon Bell and Chris Herndon, who, by the way, Chris Herndon has a lot to prove to us, and Ryan Griffin's not even healthy right now. It's like, dude, like, shit, there should be 10 guys every day, dude. Like, I don't know. It's just me, I guess.
Nobody wanted an extra wide receiver more than us on this show. But it is what it is at this point now. So you have what you have here. You're going to let these guys like Campbell and Berrios and
aren't you getting flashbacks to Mark Sanchez a little bit? Like, aren't you getting kind of flashbacks to Mark Sanchez of how all this shit blew up around him? Like, don't you see it? Like it's the same shit, and it's like it's going to be the same excuses, the same story. Well, we didn't have this. Well, you had a chance to. Like, and now it's like you got to wait for cuts, and hopefully a good guy gets cut or make a trade, and like the whole thing with Demaryius Thomas, I understand that, but at some point you want to bring in younger guys that can grow with the quarterback, and it's just going to drive me crazy, dude. It's like you could just see it. They're one more injury away from having a fucking ton of problems on offense.
No, listen, you're not entirely wrong there. I'm just saying we've had so long to try and address this or bring somebody else in. At this point, you might as well give Cager and all these younger guys at least a little bit of a look, see if they can get some chemistry with Sam, see if maybe they are a long-term answer. And if not, there's going to be, like you said, there's going to be cuts. There's going to be some time to add somebody from now until the start of the season. I just don't think you want to invest either a ton of money or draft capital in somebody that might not be here long-term, because this is not a team that's prepared to win right now.
Christ. What do you think, Tyrone?
I'm sitting back listening to you guys argue, and I'm laughing over here. I had to get my phone, bro.
You know what it is? Listen, listen, I made a case last week of why, like, this team can have a chip on their shoulder and why they're going to rally around each other, and they're a cohesive unit. There's no egos. There's no drama. There's a lot of leaders emerging, including Marcus May, and it's all great. But at some point, talent wins football games. And a part of my concern is probably I don't have faith in the coach. That's my own problem. But, like, I want, the 49ers are a perfect example. The receivers get hurt, and they're aggressive as hell signing guys. And they're signing, like, 2-3 at a time. Like, we're going to bring in a shitload of guys, and hopefully some of these guys improve. Now, if you're going to sit here and try to sell me, okay, well, we have Cager, and, we have George Campbell, and we have Jeff Smith, that's cute. That's great. I appreciate that. I still want talent in here. And, if it means Taylor Gabriel, if it means Paul Richardson, if it means a guy that's been there and done that, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I feel the same way you feel, Tyson. I'm kind of the thing I'm frustrated about the most is, and I can't hate to keep reiterating this. I just feel like, man, we really should have got more than one receiver during the draft. I mean, it just didn't make any sense. And these are really talented players. I mean, you're grabbing players that to me, you could have got a quarterback later on. I mean, we have Sam, so I don't understand that didn't make sense to me. It was a lot of great receivers.
We don't even have a healthy backup quarterback right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Joe, he's not even playing until like week 2 or 3, and that's just scary, man. So, I mean, the whole thing is frustrating, man, because I feel like that if you want to win, you have to have talent, and the most important thing is to let Sam come out here and develop. How can we develop Sam if he has nobody to throw the ball to? That just doesn't make any sense. It's starting to get scary. So
you look at Tyrone, you look at the pass. Just look at the progress of your passing game. You say, okay, listen, we want to go ground and pound, but they stack the box. You have a tremendous amount of pressure on your offensive line that is going to take 3 to 4 weeks to gel. So that's going to put pressure on the offensive line. They got to find a way to block. Sam has to find a way to avoid the blitz and then look for guys to get open. Now, a guy has to get open, and we got to complete the pass. There's so many things you got to worry about here when you have a mismatched group of wide receivers. It's just like we've seen this before.
No, like you were just saying, though, if you're talking about adding like a guy like Taylor Gabriel, that's one thing. He's not going to cost you a ton of money. I'm all for bringing in some veterans like that, but I'm just not ready to make a panic move where you're giving up significant draft capital or cash for somebody this close to the start of the season when you had 6 months to evaluate your wideouts and make a big move like that if you thought it was necessary.
Yeah, my point is this: you have to give. If the most important thing, and everyone agrees with this, is the development of Sam. You have to give him somebody to throw the ball to. I mean, don't get me wrong, Herndon is coming back, but like you said, he hasn't proved us that he can stay healthy. He hasn't proved us that he can do anything on the field. He had a couple good flashing moments, but I still feel like that. It still moves to be made. But actually, you know what, Tyson? You guys, you're kind of right. There isn't why not do it now? Because you don't have a training camp. How do you get these guys ready? Just because they're veterans, it's a whole new system, man. It's gonna take a while to learn that, bro. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know, bro. And then Cage, and don't get me wrong, Prime Time, I like those guys when we pick those guys up as free agents. I mean, you know what I'm saying, undrafted free agents. I really like that move. But Prime Time, I'm just looking at it like this, bro. What can they give us that can't give us now? This is the opportunity for these guys to prove that they belong, and they're not doing that. We're not hearing these guys' names. We're not seeing these guys with the starters. We're seeing these guys with the second and third team, and really the only reason with the second team is because we don't have anybody else to go against. So that speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? So that's the scarier part about all this, man.
Well, let me just say, it's also the third day of camp. So, when Robbie Anderson, for example, when he busted on the scene his rookie year, there was a lot of guys in front of him. So he wasn't getting any kind of significant reps early on in camp. But then as he started to do it more consistently.
And Eric Decker, Prime Time.
Well, no, exactly.
Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker. Like, shit. Like, who else do you need, bro? Like, if we had Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker right now, bro, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I wouldn't give a damn if the whole receiving corps quit.
My point is that an undrafted wide receiver doesn't just come in and get significant reps. That hardly ever, if ever, happens. So these guys are going to take a little bit to get acclimated, learn the playbook, and then, you hope that towards the end of camp, they have significant,
Dude, the
reps.
First game's in 26 days. It takes a little while to get acclimated. Okay, that's 3 weeks. That's week 1.
In Prime Time, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they get playing time? It ain't nobody in front of their ass. Who scares you in front of them? You know what I'm saying? Like, who scares you? Like, oh my God, we had Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker. So you're like, okay, y'all rookies ain't getting no playing time now. You got Jeff Smith, bro. Like, who the fuck is he? Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to Google the dude, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't have nobody out there to be scared of. This guy is full of shit, bro. It's like nobody out there. So, yes, they should be playing. I don't care if it's
Hey, man, you didn't see that YouTube highlight? You didn't see that YouTube highlight of Jeff Smith? I saw that YouTube highlight. He caught a pass.
Yeah, hey, Tyson, that whole 7-second clip of his shit, yeah, bro, I saw that. Shit was amazing, bro. I'm telling you. Oh, man, it's bullshit, bro. This is what happens when you have bad receivers, bro. Listen, it was so bad Prime Time today, they didn't do a fucking walkthrough because they have enough players to practice, bro. You understand that shit, bro? You understand how fucking retarded that shit is, bro? You literally understand that, bro. They had 7 fucking receivers, bro. They admitted, yeah, man, we're doing a walkthrough because we really don't have enough guys to practice. What? That's not some shit you say to a team who's a Jet fan who watches. Come on, bro. But it's all about developing Sam.
I can't defend that, but.
Nah, bro, listen. You know what my plan is? Give the ball to Le'Veon Bell 56 times in a row. Fuck it. If they can't stop it, they can't stop it. It is what it is, bro. Listen, the one thing you look forward to, we got the best punter in the fucking league, bro. So I'm happy about that. That's my goal right there.
Is that, hey, Prime Time, is that Steve on hold? We can bring Steve on.
Yes, it is.
The dynamic of this.
Yes, it is.
Oh, let's just bring the show full circle then. All right, let's bring Steve on. His positivity. What's up, Steve?
Hey, guys. Good evening. How are you tonight?
What's up, Steve?
What's up,
going on, bro?
What's going on, Steve?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Great. Get yourself.
Let's get to it, Steven.
Hey, listen. I was already being entertained when I called on. I mean, you guys are like the biggest entertainment of this show tonight.
Well, and just think, you used to hate when we cursed, and now you're just fitting right in, and now you like it. See, we've changed you.
Oh, you changed me. Okay. But
so, Steve, what is your take on all these injuries, man?
Tyson, it sucks right now, unfortunately, and I feel bad for Mims that he ended up getting a hamstring. I mean, hopefully he gets back to 100%. But, I mean, right now, man, we're really, really, really hurting at the receiver position. I thought at first going into, into training camp was going to be the offensive line, but I was wrong. But honestly, it's the receivers. It's just that we're getting hurt, and it's just we need to get more veteran receiver help. I mean, listen, we signed Chris Hogan. That was a good, decent signing, but we need more help at the receiver position with the injuries we have. I mean, I was saying this earlier. I mean, listen, I would love to see if Joe Douglas could. I mean, I know it's going to probably be too late. I mean, yes, he's under contract going into the offseason next year, but I would love the Jets to try to go out and make a trade to go for Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, your daughter agrees, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Tyrone?
My question is this, man. So, with all the turmoil going on with our receiving corps, Steve, what would your immediate move be right now if you were the GM of the team, Steve? What would you do, Steve?
I mean, here is the thing. If I was the GM right now, I mean, as Primetime said earlier, I would not mind going out and paying for Taylor Gabriel to come to the team. I mean, Taylor Gabriel is still available, and he's a veteran receiver, and he's not a very expensive receiver. That would be something I would do if I was Joe Douglas right now.
Hey, Steve,
is there any
player?
Hold on, Tyrone. Is there anything else you consider? I mean, is there any other guys out there that he likes?
I mean, here is the thing. I mean, I mentioned Juju Smith-Schuster. He would be another one, but I mean, I know it would have to be through a trade. Taylor Gabriel was one person.
What about Des Bryant?
Honestly, would I go after someone like Des Bryant? I mean, I would, but the only biggest thing is that he hasn't played in a couple of years. I mean, yes, he knows the game very well, but he hasn't played in the last couple of years, and you don't know what his health status is.
Hey, Steve, is Des Bryant better than what we have right now?
Exactly.
No.
What?
So Jeff Smith is better than Des Bryant?
What?
Wait, let me refer. No, honestly, Des Bryant.
You've got to be kidding.
Hang on, I misread the question. I'm sorry. I misheard the question, Tyrone. My fault. Honestly, Des Bryant is the better receiver.
Oh,
that was my fault. I misread the question. My fault.
I was checking because y'all is about to.
Misheard the question.
You was about to get hung up on that one, bro. You can't say no shit like that, bro.
But listen, I don't know who this. I don't know who this Jeff. I don't know who this Jeff Smith guy is. I mean, I know he went to Boston College, but I don't know what else this guy does. I mean, okay, he's a receiver. Yes, he's caught a ball, but what can he do? I mean, he's taking first-team reps.
Which is a joke in itself. So, yeah, Tyrone.
Yeah,
you're doing well.
It's just the other thing is that I got to tell you one thing. One thing I like seeing on the videos, and everybody all keeps on saying. I knew Mekhi Becton was big. I didn't know he was that big. I was like, oh my God, he's huge.
Yeah, but the one thing is, and listen, I love that he's big and he's got great athletic ability for his size. But the one thing that you worry about, and the thing that they talked about in the draft process, was his pass blocking and how quick he can adjust. A big guy like that, the small guys, like a guy like Jordan Jacobs, can get around him faster because he's more explosive. So he's got to adjust, dude. It's one thing to maul guys and run blocking, but pass blocking, you can't be a liability.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what Mekhi does. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. He was pumped to get in the pads. I was reading reports, man. He was pumped when he got into the pads for the first time.
So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Ashton Davis, man? You ready to make him an All-Pro?
Ashton Davis? I mean, I haven't really seen too much yet of Ashton Davis. I mean, here's the thing. I honestly wouldn't mind having him as the punt returner or kick returner, not like what they did to Marcus May a couple of days ago when I read that he was returning punts. If Marcus May returns punts, then we're in trouble.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just because Braxton Berrios. I mean, these guys, there's so many injuries, man. These guys are all pitching in and doing different things. But there's no way Marcus make me back.
No,
returning
I know.
punts. I mean, this
but
is
the one
crazy.
thing is, Tyson, let me ask you this. How would you feel if I told you, would you be okay of having Ashton Davis as a kick returner?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Why not? Go for it. He's fast as hell. He's got great range. Go for it.
Because I don't know if you. I mean, he is a fast guy, and because I mean I know, and I watched his highlights from California. He is a fast dude.
No, listen, I'm all for explosive playmakers. I hate when you have a prominent, starting player that's a returner. Like, way back when the Jets used to have Aaron Glenn doing it, or you had, returners that were valuable. That's what used to drive me crazy. Yeah, guys like that. Even when Antonio Cromartie went back there, you used to get nervous because you didn't want to see him get hurt.
No. When Antonio Cromartie was there, when he was playing, I mean, the only time he did good as a special teams player was when we were in the playoffs back in 2010. That was the only time he was good. The rest of the time, he was horrible as a punt and kick returner.
He was explosive. He's super fast. But when you have a position that has very limited depth, especially like Jets do at corner or even safety, it's risky, man. It's really risky. So Berrios can do it. Great. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, we'll see, man. It's just that the thing is right now, it's just they gotta get some. They definitely still need to get some help at the receiver position because the receiver position is
it sucks because we don't know what we have, and we're not going to know what we have until Buffalo. That's the problem. Usually we can watch preseason games and you kind of analyze it and overreact or underreact, whatever. But we can kind of get a feel for what kind of team we have. We're not going to know shit until Buffalo. We're not. All we're going to know is the media tells us, or some fucking, or the New York Jets website tells us. That's all we're going to know. And that's what sucks about all this.
Yeah. We honestly, we don't know. I mean, we're 20 or 25 days away from the first game in Buffalo. Listen, Tyson, I fully agree with you. I have no idea what the hell is going to happen the first week. I mean, it's just that, it's probably, let's say if we're still hurt at the receiver position at that time, you're going to, hopefully you would be seeing more Le'Veon Bell, is Chris Herndon going to get involved?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think, Tyrone? I mean, even Steve's dog's chiming in.
I mean, I think that Steve has a point. I think you guys both have a point. I think that we don't find a way to have receivers to come in there and be able to make this thing happen. This is going to be a problem. But at the same time, we have to believe in something that we don't know if we can believe in. I think that we have an offensive line that we're not going to really see perform or really get any work. We're going to have receivers who aren't going to be tested, but only in practice. These guys are going to get no physical play and keeping these guys safe. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, it's just kind of scary on how this is going to turn out. So we're not going to know shit till Buffalo, and we don't want to walk out there and put on a back. The only thing is I'm hoping it doesn't turn out to them games where Sam wasn't the quarterback when we had, bad football for 3 weeks till these guys get acclimated and get caught up. I mean, we just have to understand that it's a weird time. It's going to be a real process, but that's the coaching. We have good coaching, you'll get these guys ready. So that's something that I really don't think that we really have, I'm really confident in. So I'm just hoping that it works out.
Yeah, listen, Tyrone, I hope it works out too, man. It's just, like Tyson and I just said, we don't know what the hell is going to happen for week 1 when we're in Buffalo.
Hey, Steve, I got a question for you. When you're doing those deadlifts, are you using enough leg? Do you ever hurt your back? 'Cause it seems like you're using a lot of back when you do. Are you using enough legs to when you pick the weight up or no?
I don't know what I'm doing, man. It's just
I'm just asking because that's dangerous, dude. Because if you don't do them right, you could blow your back out. It seems like you weren't using enough leg to kind of drive the weight up.
Nah, man, I was using more of my back than my legs.
All right, I'm just making sure you're right, man.
So
I mean,
I'm good.
I know you're cranking up those fitness videos now. I mean, you're making Primetime jealous. Primetime was doing boxing videos. Now we got Steve doing weightlifting shit. I mean, next thing you'll got Tyrone doing cycling videos or something.
Wait, hold on. Where are these videos?
I gotta see. Where to see videos at?
He's posting workout videos on Facebook, man. He's doing deadlifts. He's cranking out some shit there,
what?
man. Yeah.
How much weight?
How did you not see that? He's a power lifter.
Steve, what are you putting up, man?
I didn't pay attention to what I was putting on last week.
Because he's hardcore, man. That's why.
It was
Steve, I'll answer the question for you. The weight don't fucking matter. You're a beast. That's what you tell him. That's how you answer it, man.
Hey, Steve.
Thank you.
Steve, you getting section with 2121, Steve. You getting section with 2021, baby. I see you, Steve.
Tyrone, you funny, man. Tyrone, you funny. All right, hey guys,
Steve,
have a good night, guys.
Steve. Oh, hold on. Is there like a significant other that you're trying to get in shape for? What's the?
He's in love.
Yeah,
He's in love, man.
Hey, listen. It's just trying to be healthy, Try to get a future healthy style, man.
All right, I thought it was for a lady friend or something.
Proud of you, Steve.
He's got a lady friend.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
good for you, Steve.
Yeah,
man.
Well,
he's hitting the weight. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's
living the dream.
Yeah, man. All right, hey, listen, guys. Have a good night, guys. Okay.
You too, man.
This show went right to shit, man. Right to absolute shit. This is terrible. Do you know what I'm thinking about this, though? What we have to do is, let's go right to shit now. But what we got to think about is we have 3 more weeks of really all we could talk about is injuries and the game plan versus Buffalo because we're not going to know anything else. Like, what the fuck else are we going to talk about? We have nothing, no preseason to talk about. We don't see shit in practice. Like, we're just going to talk about this and, Steve's weightlifting stories.
That could be a new segment, man. Steve in the gym.
I'm in. He can give us, workout tips.
Oh, man.
I don't just want to sleep. Tyrone just gave up. So, Tyrone, you right, man?
No, man. No, listen, man. Steve getting sexy for the summer, baby. 2021. Steve gonna be out here, baby, doing his thing, baby.
We're gonna bring on Mr. J. He's Kevin Primetime's NYSF magazine. So now Jay, we're gonna call Jay Vayner. So what's up, Jay?
Jay in the building.
What up, Tyrone? Dude, it's so funny you guys are talking about that because I was watching Steve doing deadlifts, man. It felt like I was watching combine highlights, man. My man's getting ready. He's sick of waiting for the Jets to be good. He decided it's training camp time, baby. He's getting in shape. He's gonna show up like a walk-on, waiting for bet.
Hey, listen, man. Somebody send me that shit ASAP. I need to see that, buddy. I need all of that in my life.
He's gonna replace Cameron Clark.
we need a wide receiver, guys. He's suiting up this year.
He could be our blocking fullback.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm saying.
So Jay, what are your thoughts on all these injuries, man?
Oh God. Am I allowed to say it? Is it too early to say it? I'm going to say it anyway. So this podcast is no holds barred. So I'm going to say it. Fucking Adam Gase, man. It's here we go again with Adam Gase's teams being injured. Are we supposed to be shocked about that? It took one goddamn day. 1 day. These guys showed up and just were like, no. And that guy, either he is the most unlucky, cursed person on the planet, or he is doing something that's causing every year for his teams to be the most injured team in the league. That can't happen 5 years in a row by accident.
But Jay, here's and listen, I somewhat agree with you. But what's the difference between not having OTAs, not having minicamp, and all these unknowns, and players coming in and we're not sure what kind of shape, or Gase having a fucked up camp? How do we decipher which is the case?
Dude, I don't even know anymore, man. To be honest, you want a good answer from me? I don't have one. I put my hands in the air. I can't, it's deja vu all over again. And it's not just the Jets. It happened to the Mets, too. It's the same shit every year. You get excited for the season, and then the whole goddamn team is injured. Look at the Mets. The Mets have one of the deepest starting pitching rotations in the league, and now I'm marching out like Steve is going to go pitch for the Mets after he plays wide receiver for the Jets.
This the bad part, Jay. They get hurt doing walkthroughs, bro. I don't know what the hell he got going on. They getting hurt doing walkthroughs. So
you know what, man? You'd have a hard time getting me to come play or coach for the Jets if I was out there and I was professional and was a good enough player or coach, man. Can you imagine? It's crazy,
so you don't
man.
Right?
No, nobody would take that. Listen. Nobody wants. Listen. The one thing that I understand with this team is, man, I love this team through my whole life. The one thing that always gets me, bro, is like, we fixed the offensive line. We got 7 fucking receivers and we can't practice. That right there. So that right there, I don't care what else happened today. Didn't have to tell me that shit. That just ruined my whole day, bro. Like, I'm just telling you.
You know what ruined my day, Tyrone? Let me tell you, Tyrone, I was so excited about the first day of practice. I was legitimately excited. I'm like, you know what? We're getting out of the COVID bullshit. We're going to see some on-the-field activities. I'm like listening to the highlights. I'm watching all of a sudden, like, Denzel Mims on the sideline in shorts. I'm like, what? I'm like, the first goddamn day it sucked the life out of you. The first day, like the one play we're all excited about.
Day one, Tyson and I are all fired up. Then you know what happened? It turns into it. Like, I wish people out there could, like, it would be quality content, could watch the text messages as they degenerate from me and Tyson. It starts off the day like, yo, first day of practice. Fuck yeah, let's get it. We're back, baby. And it's like, oh, fuck, did you see about Mims? Oh, shit, this fucking team again. Oh, God damn it. And then we start going back and forth. And I'm like, oh, it's only a matter of time before the Jets sign David Nelson. And Tyson's like, Clyde Gates. And we start going back and forth for like 3 hours talking about all the wide receivers that we got that come in here that never caught a ball. I mean, that's literally how it went in a span of like 5 hours. That's how it goes with it.
You know what's it's so crazy, man. We signed Hogan, and it was like, yo, we signed Hogan like we signed the best receiver in the league, bro. This shit is retarded, bro. But this is this is the plight that we go through every season. And I'm so tired of this. Listen, if we rebuild and competitive, I have a problem with that. But I'm sick of the rebuilding and losing. That shit sucks. And if I heard one more person say, yo, we won the last 6 out of 7 games, we didn't play any fucking body. You know what I'm saying? My son's high school team could be that thing you beat last year, bro. That's the whole problem, man.
The problem that I have, and like, listen, like we all try to be optimistic. We all want the team to do good. We all want a lot of good things to happen. Is you read other analysts that don't cover the Jets say the same shit that we're saying and give a bad prognosis. Be like, listen, they're trying to do too much with too little. I don't see it panning out. We're trying to keep like some kind of green-colored glasses on to try to justify half this bullshit. But it's just like there's some things that are alarming here, and not having receivers is a problem. Like the cornerback position with these guys with Hall going to be out and Desir kind of banged up already. It's like this stuff, man. It's like Jesus Christ. Like you need a glimmer of hope at some point.
I'll give you a glimmer of hope. We got like $30 million that's still under the cap this year. That if teams decide to make some cuts, veteran receivers, you might be able to get somebody. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I know the rosters are kind of expanded, right? How many players are they allowed to take into the season? Do you guys know? I forget what the number is.
They increased. I know that.
Right.
Well, I think
72. I
think it's 55, right? I thought it was 55.
No, I thought there was
it went from 53 to 55.
And they've expanded practice squads, right?
Yeah, it's like 10 now.
Yep.
Right. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see, man. Because if teams can have 65 guys sticking around, man, that is going to increase the numbers of veterans that wind up sticking around for this year. You would think, because they can stash more young guys on the practice squad, or you can keep more young guys around.
Yeah, it's tough. Like,
and then there's no college, and we have 2 first-round draft picks.
The other thing too is what nobody's really talking about is there's no preseason games to evaluate how these other guys are doing. Like, there could be a guy on your radar. You don't know if he's healthy or not because you can't watch him in a preseason game. Like, you don't know what you're getting when you're trading for somebody because everything's hiding behind these practice screens. Like, we don't know what, you can't really evaluate other guys. It's going to be going off last year's tape? That's what you're going off of.
It's really difficult circumstances this year, man. It really is. Like, you almost have to keep a sense of humor about it because it's like things could get real. I mean, you can keep a sense of humor about it until the Jets start like 0-3, 0-4, and then the sense of humor is going to go out the window and everyone's going to start getting pissed. But like, you can't really give them all that much of a shot this year. I mean, anybody that's predicting, like, I keep seeing people predicting like the Jets are going to win 10, 11 games and compete for the AFC East. I'm not seeing it, but like, nope. Like this offensive line, man, with no wide receivers and an offensive line with 4 brand new starters on it with no preseason games and time to gel, how are you going to compete early on in the season against a tough schedule?
Like, I can't see them getting off to anything better than a 1-3 start, if that. So, it's going to be rough, man.
More than anything? You know what hurts me more than anything? I'm in the store, right? I got my Jets mask on. It's this little girl, man. She had to be about 5 or 6, right? She looked at me and started laughing. That shit hurt. Like, this is how bad it is for me, bro. Like, that shit just kills me, bro. She looked at me and started laughing. Like, bro, I'm having to explain to her why I'm a Jet fan, bro. This is too much. This has been a rough
We're
week for
proud,
me already,
man. We're
bro.
proud. One of these days, all that laughing is going to turn to pride, man. One of these days. It'll happen soon.
Jay,
it might be old as hell, but it'll happen.
Jay, we've been saying that for 30 years.
Yeah, but Tyrone, there's not one Jets fan alive that's somewhat not trying to, like, be whatever, that walks around confident right now, because every Jets fan you talk to, the first thing they say is if. That is the first word of every Jets fan's mouth when you ask them about the upcoming season. If this happens, if this happens, if this – it's like all we have is ifs, and that's the problem. Like, it's impossible to have confidence. Like, you hope and pray that Gase is a clue and Sam Darnold can emerge and Le'Veon Bell could be a superstar again, all this stuff. But, like, in the bottom of your heart, do you really think it's going to happen?
Yo, what kills me is where are these Denzel Mims fans that were so happy we got him and Joe Douglas moved back and got Denzel Mims and
I'm
nobody
still
said
happy with Mims. I'm not going crazy after 3 games.
No,
I still love Mims, dude.
Listen.
I'm not trashing the pick just because you missed the first 3 days of camp.
Jesus Christ, Tyrone, damn.
I'm not.
I was going to say, Tyrone, you're taking even for my cynical self, man, you're taking a little far the Denzel Mims stuff, man. Like, take it easy over there, bro. We got enough to complain about before we start jumping on this.
Hey. No, let me finish. What I was going to say is this, though, right? When I was saying earlier a few weeks
Poor
ago
Denzel, that guy got banged up. He's like, that guy's
Tyrone
wrote him off already.
No. Listen, what I wanted to say is this, though. This is the point I was making, that we can't depend on this kid because he's a rookie. So while everyone was so hyped up, he's going to give us 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns, and it was just bullshit. I mean, this kid has to
it's hard enough saying that. It's hard enough, man. Everybody was saying 35, 40 catches, dude. They're like 35, 40 catches, 400 yards, and that's probably about it. My expectations were high for him, but all right.
Tyson, what was it? Hold on. What was when we drafted him, though? That's what I'm talking about. When everybody's talking about, yo, man, he's 1,500 yards, man, 15 touchdowns,
you never know what he could be. But listen, we don't know what he could be 2 or 3 years from now. But year one, my biggest concern was that the expectations were too high for him, and now they're completely diminished because now he's going to miss a couple weeks of camp. So, I mean, my expectations weren't high for him this year at all.
And Jay, this is my real point right here that I'm trying to make with all these hamstring injuries. These are lingering injuries. These are injuries that just get better. And this shit lasted all year. Pierre this year, bro. That's what killed him in the coach, bro. A hamstring injury, bro. You come here, you haven't been at camp 3 days, and your ass ain't practiced not 1 day, and I got to depend on you, bro.
Any Jets-Mets fan will tell you when they start hearing hamstring injuries, the first thing that every Mets fan, Jets fan thinks of is Jose Reyes. And Jose Reyes will get a hamstring, and that was the end of Jose Reyes' season, man, every time. Like, they would say, oh, he'll be back in 2 weeks, and 2 weeks would turn into, like, 10 months. That guy he was done for the season as soon as he got one hamstring injury. So you know how that goes. I start seeing hamstrings, and I'm like, damn, they better sit his ass for, like, 6-7 weeks, make sure he's healed up before he comes back. Especially a guy like Mims, where that's speed is his game. Like you got to be so damn careful with these guys, man. And then it's like I don't know. I just keep looking at this rookie class. It's like we were so like excited about them, and 4 of them are already out. It's like they're already all hurt. Like you got to hope they come back by next week or within 7 days, 9 days. That's crazy. It's truly amazing. There's not even Zuniga's like wait, everybody's like oh. But Zuniga's like he can be the secret pass rusher. He hasn't played a game yet. He hasn't had a practice yet. It's just unbelievable, man. I can't do this anymore. I just can't do it. Holy Christ! Yeah, at least we don't have to go to the games this year, man. We can just relax at home and take it all in.
We'll get through it together.
Save a lot of money that way.
Where's prime time? Did he fall asleep over here and shit?
I'm here. I'm here.
You mighty quiet today, buddy. You was talking cash shit last week. I'm wondering what the energy is.
Well, you guys are taking my role this week with bringing the negativity. I'm just sitting back. I'll let you guys take the hate on social media this week.
It took 1 week. Kevin kept sitting
I'll tell you why, because he's sitting back. He's like, yo, I was a week ahead of you guys on this shit.
In fairness, most of my criticism was on the defense. I was being negative on the defense. But, yeah, I mean, you guys are going hard on the wideouts. I can't even disagree with most of that.
He just got the win.
Nah, you know what's bad? When you got Shaq and Shaq's calling in being the bearer of great news and Shaq is positive, man, shit, this shows with the shit, bro. I'm just telling you. It's over. Shaq is happy? No. I was hoping that caller who hit me up on Twitter last week would call tonight because I had a few choice words for him. I was letting you know, if you're out there listening, Tyrone don't waffle, man. You asked about my nuts. I got big nuts. I use both hands to hold them, bro. Letting you know that shit. Getting it out there.
It's just hard to be excited when you see the wide receiver position just get decimated, and you just see it's just concerning, man. Like hopefully this time next week the guys are all back practicing and we could be a little more encouraged. But it's not. It's just hard.
I mean, what if we win 8 games in a row, bro, and somebody go back and listen to this show, man? We fucked. You know that, right?
I don't give a shit. Who cares?
You guys won 8 games in a row,
baby? Let that
be
the fucking problem. Let that be the fucking problem. Please, I'll sign up for that. How about you guys? All you did was put out a fucking podcast. I put a billboard up to get this clown fired, man. Can you imagine how that's going to come down? You guys
Jay, how about Jay? Hey,
I'm rooting for it.
Don't forget the plane. Hey, Jay, don't forget the plane, bro. That was the move of the decade. Don't forget the plane. That was deep.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm rooting. Right now, I swear to you, man, I've been saying this all along. I'm rooting so hard for them to make me the biggest jackass on the planet for doing that. So go ahead and prove me wrong so that I can enjoy my football season, and I'll applaud you, and I'll fly a plane over my own house that says that I'm a jackass. Done.
But you know, Jay, that's the hold on. You know, one thing, Jay, that got me when people came off and made all these comments about what you did. They don't even realize you're a fucking Jet fan till you die. You know what I'm saying? You love this team, and people don't understand how hard it is. You know what I'm saying? To understand this shit hurts. It's weekly. It hurts. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. We're all excited about certain things. Then we're looking at it like, bro, we got 7 receivers in a walkthrough. Come on, bro. This shit. We have 3 weeks to get ready for a season, and we have 7 wide receivers at this moment, and 4 of them you never fucking heard of. You can't even watch a video for these guys. Come on, bro. YouTube don't even got these motherfuckers on the bro. Come on, man. Oh, it's just crazy, bro.
I thought I heard that shit. I thought I heard if the Jets make the playoffs that Jay said he was going to pull a Steve-O and tape himself to a billboard.
I'll do it. Listen, if we make the playoffs, there is not one bet I won't take. So everyone fire at your hottest bet. Tell me what it is that I'm going to have to do to make right by Adam Gase when he takes the Jets to the AFC, to the let's win the division, or let's get a wild card. All right, so get a wild card, and then everyone can throw out the list of things that I have to do to make things right, and I will literally do them all. So let's go. Put me on that. Just make the playoffs. Make the playoffs with this roster, and I will put myself at Jet fan mercy, and we can all have fun with it. But in the meantime, let's not talk about playoffs yet. Ty, I know you got that clip laying around, man. Jim Mora, get him in here, please, because he needs to he needs to calm everything down. Because before we start talking about playoffs, we just need to win a goddamn game.
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you, Jim.
That's why this is why I love this show, and this is why I love Jay, bro. This is why I love what this show is, bro. I'm sorry. This shit right here, bro, tonight's show, it's been absolutely retarded, bro. Yes, it's been a wonderful disaster.
A complete disaster. We are alienating every one of our fucking listeners with this nonsense. This is just ridiculous.
Nah, because all our listeners love the same shit. We just say what they thinking, bro. We just say how they really feel.
Jay, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate
how great. Now, hold on. You guys just wait till you see how great the shows are. You wait till you see how great the shows are when this team finally starts winning again. Could you guys imagine how annoying and what fucking other fan bases are going to think of us when? Yeah, it could take 10 years. It could take 10 years.
We haven't made the playoffs in 10 years, for Christ's sakes.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
So let's start winning.
It truly is amazing that we've been doing this show for 5 years and we haven't had one playoff game to talk about. The closest thing was Buffalo, and that was still 4 years ago. That's fucking crazy.
Fucking disaster that game was.
Oh my God! Damn, prime time! Wow.
Thanks for calling in, Jay. We appreciate it, man.
I wish I had that Men in Black, that light stick thing that make you forget your memory and just wave it in front of my face for that Buffalo game. I never want to think about that game for the rest of my life as long as I live. Tyson, I still I watched the highlights of that game and what's his name? I blocked his name from my Kembrell. When that pass hits off Kembrell's hand. In the actual highlight, so if you watch it and you look in the front row, right next to Kembrell, the first jet band is Tyson crumbling to the floor as that ball hits the ground. Like, it's amazing. You literally if you put it in slow motion, right? You can watch Tyson's soul flying out of his body, and that was the end of Tyson. I was standing next to him when his life ended.
Oh my God!
You guys need to watch that. Watch that highlight. Look for Tyson in his crazy green hat, and watch the life just get sucked out of him. It's horrible. And they did that to my boy, and that's why I fly airplanes. Because you're not supposed to do my boy like that, man. You have to kill the guy. Jesus Christ.
Oh shit! We'll talk to you later, Jay.
All right, have a good night.
Oh, that fucking game. We're gonna bring on Justin. We'll bring back some more chaos to the show. Justin, what's up, man?
All right, so I just got home. What the hell is going on tonight? I just tuned in, and we're talking about Buffalo. Oh my God, I got nightmares already. My head's scratching. I'm panting. I can't breathe. Just thinking of the damn thing. You guys have to worry about the game. I live with Buffalo, so yeah, I don't want to talk about Buffalo. Let's change the subject, please. Well, what do we got going on tonight?
What are your thoughts about the wide receiver position?
Oh my God, it's just terrible. I bring in another veteran receiver ASAP, please. There's no doubt we need another one. At least
would you bring in
through.
Des Bryant?
I bring in Des Bryant. I bring in.
Why would Des Bryant want to come here?
I bring in anyone and their mother. I bring in Tyrone. I bring in Tyson. Let's get some guys in here.
Yo, Justin Blaze with a good answer. No, what you say, prime time? Why would Des come there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he would get some targets, but I think if Des Bryant's coming back, he's coming back for a chance to win. So I don't think he'd be looking at the Jets.
Coming back. He coming, bro. He'll go anywhere, bro. He's want to play football, so I ain't buying that one though. But we definitely need some. Hey, bro, I got a question for you, Justin. So how do you feel about Becton being on the island by himself?
No, I said it since day one. The Becton's gonna start. I mean, let's get him started. George Fenton, let's just groove him. I mean, he's gonna have his growing pains, and let's just roll. I'm cool with it. Starting since day one, I like it. I like that idea.
How do you guys feel about him pancaking Neville Hewitt though? That shit was. I wish we could see the video for that, bro. I just wanted to see that. Bro.
What I don't understand is, listen, everybody's making such a big deal out of this. His athleticism is great, but he's 125 pounds more than everybody else. This is what he's supposed to be doing. This is why he's a first-round draft pick. I get the whole thing is always so big. He's being brought in here to dominate people, and that's what he has to do. But, all these running things are great.
Yeah.
Let's see him do that against pass rushers.
Yeah.
That's a scary part right there, man. That's what scares me the most. If Double J is beating him right now on quick moves, he's going to struggle. But that's good coaching, having him help him out, too. You can't leave this kid on the island by himself, man. It's just dangerous. That's especially in the passing game. Especially you want to pass the ball 25, 30 times a game. That cannot be played.
Why are we talking about George Fant at all? Apparently he looks like he's in great shape. Maybe we got a right tackle. No?
I mean, I still like Adobo, man. I still like him, bro. I still wanted to, what I'm saying?
What?
I really wanted them guys. I wanted them kids to have a chance to battle it out.
Adoga.
What I'd really love to see is if Adoga could take that right tackle spot. You have some versatility with Fant because he's played, a couple snaps at tight end with the Seahawks. Not obviously you want him running routes or anything, but if you could put him next to Becton, to give him a little bit of help, I think that could be a dominant offensive line that you could actually, ground and pound a little bit with.
True. I like that, Prime Time. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like that. No, you just want the best line put together, man. But these guys have to have consistency, and these guys have to have unity, man. That's the one thing that you're not really getting with these guys because they're not really going against anybody but your own players. But the one thing about us having a great defense, a great defensive line, is these guys getting work every day. Because I know Q has been a problem out there. I can imagine that. You know what I'm saying? These guys are getting at it.
That boy.
But just no preseason game scares me, man. You putting an unknown product out there and go win the game. I don't know, bro. That's just But at the same time, everybody has the same problems we have. Buffalo's got the same issues we have. They don't know
No,
what
they
got.
don't.
They got new
No,
players.
they do not. Not everybody's trying to replace 4 offensive linemen.
True on that, Tyson. But they don't know what they got.
Got him.
I got
I'm
you.
sorry. If Brian Winters,
just
hey,
I'm on that one. Tyson got him.
Yo.
Tyson got him, yo. Not only are they replacing 4 offensive linemen, they got their whole core back. They got added a number 1 receiver. Tyson got him tonight, man.
Well, let me ask you a question, Justin. You think Brian Winters is going to be able to help them improve their line?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Brian Winters is. I mean, who knows where that competition is going to be? But they're not replacing their whole offensive line. Brian Winters may slip in the crevices or be a backup. So I don't even think that there's a question about Brian Winters. That's just depth for them at this point. Flip a coin. Come on.
How was that? No, I'm gonna tell you how we gonna come on, Justin, because they're
they had an injury. They had an injury too.
No, exactly.
So, I mean,
exactly.
They had
That's
an
why
injury.
they brought him
a
in.
big part of their offensive line last year go down. So Brian Winters may be a replacement for them. But that's only one spot of 5, Tyrone. They're not replacing 4 or 5 like us.
No, I understand that, but what I'm telling you is this: they brought Brian Winters in to be a starter. That's going to solidify. Brian Winters is going to solidify anybody's line. Brian Winters fucking sucks, bro. I'm tired of you guys holding his balls, acting like this kid was a good player. I'm sorry. He played hurt. He was trash, bro. He was trash. He's done nothing but get bull rushed and miss tackle and miss blocks. Come on, bro. Rob me with that man, Brian Winters.
When he got his contract extension, almost every Jets fan was excited for him. That was a good idea.
Because he played phenomenal that year. And he's only been healthy 1 out of the last 3 seasons.
Tyrone, I'm going to ask you that question again. Would you take Brian Winters for $4 million? Because, I mean, we all said we didn't like him on the salary, but would you take Brian Winters for $4 million? I think we all would.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would take him for $4 million, not to be a starter. No, I would not. Not to be a starter. I only want to be a starter.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think the Buffalo had to replace someone for $4 million to say, you know what, you could potentially start. I think we all agree that we'd do it for $4 million. I think the contract was the issue for Brian Winters. I mean, their starter went down. I think that's the issue. I mean, but to say we have the same issues as Buffalo on the offensive line, come on, that's ridiculous, Steve.
No, not saying we have the same issues, but we have the same situation to where Buffalo hasn't had any more practice time than we have. Buffalo hasn't had OTAs.
We don't have the same situation. It's not even close. The continuity that Buffalo has compared to us, I mean, come on now.
I'm waiting. Go ahead. Finish, Justin. I'm on.
I mean, come on now. Buffalo's got receivers that have been on the team last year. They added a number 1 receiver, and, I mean, they got 4 or 5 guys back on the offensive line besides the guy that went down, which they got Winters, which hopefully is their quote-unquote replacement for him. So to think that Buffalo and us are in the same situation, it's just crazy in my mind. That's crazy.
Hold on, just number 1, bro. I'm not saying as for the stuff that we have to go through. I'm talking about having allowed it the same amount of time to make things work for them. And number 1, they have a shitty ass quarterback who can't throw the ball 10 yards down the field. Yeah, he can throw a bomb. So how are you going to get your number 1 receiver acclimated?
Last year, they went to the playoffs. They did what got them to win games.
They had a better team than we had. They had better coaching than we had. Come on, bro. It wasn't a better quarterback play. They had a better team, a better roster, a better head coach, a better GM, a better organization.
At the end of the day, what wins you games at the end of the day? They won games and we didn't. Bottom line.
What wins you games? Fucking good coaching, good organization, good offensive line. That's what wins you games, bro. It's not, listen. So if I can't compare us not having enough time and them not having enough time, you can't compare what the fuck they have, bro. Are you crazy as shit? That's retarded, bro. You telling me that Buffalo?
Tyrone, they have more talent and they're more established than we are. So they're not going to need as much time as we are. They're bringing back a playoff caliber team. We're not.
No, what I'm saying is this, though, bro. I'm saying the whole point of it, that at the same time, they're making adjustments as well. So everybody has to adjust at the same allotted time to adjust. So they're going to run into issues, too, of not being able to, of a preseason games.
But
and
the
not
Jets
being
are
able
making
to get physical with
wholesale
guys.
adjustments. We're making wholesale adjustments. There's a good chance we're going to start 2 new corners, 2 new receivers, 4 new offensive linemen. Like, we're trying to rebuild on the fly.
But no, what I'm trying to say is this. I'm not trying to compare us to Buffalo. Buffalo has a better team. They have a better head coach. Matter of fact, they're a better fucking organization. That's the point I'm making. They are better than us in that aspect. I'm talking about right now with this COVID, everything hitting different. Everybody has the same kind of advantage. Understand we're behind the 8 ball, but we're an organization that's coming around, bro. At the same time, we've had bad draft picks and bad management for fucking 2 decades, bro. You can't fix that in one season. So to say that Buffalo is automatically this, because I'm so tired of hearing people say, well, Josh Allen's going to lead Buffalo to a Super Bowl. The kid fucking sucks, bro. It is what it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the blueprint for him is surround him with a very good supporting cast and have a great defense, and he'll have a chance to win.
And the same thing that we're saying we need to do, pound the rock, have a good defense, rely on the run game. Like we're saying, we're going to have to ease Sam into it with the new offensive line, have a good run game. You could see that mold. That's the mold that Buffalo has done with Josh Allen. You can see the same exact thing.
Well, exactly.
Josh Allen is Mark Sanchez with a better arm and more mobile. That's what Josh Allen is. Mark Sanchez with a better arm and more mobile.
But listen,
build a team around him where he can run the ball, build a defense. Josh Allen can win. He can win you games. Don't underestimate him.
I know he did last year.
Hold on, Justin. I got a question for you, Justin. What did Buffalo do 2 seasons ago during the offseason? What did they do to make their team much better? What did they do, Justin? What did they do?
2 seasons ago.
Yes, not this offseason, last offseason. What did Buffalo do to make their team better? They got a better fucking offensive line, bro.
Yeah, O-line, yeah, of course.
Exactly. Same thing we're doing. So why can't we follow Buffalo's blueprint? But what I'm saying is we have a better quarterback overall than Buffalo. But we can't have the same blueprint as Buffalo. I feel you in that part. You know what I'm saying? But they did the same thing. Buffalo offensive line. Buffalo started, 4 new offensive linemen a year for last? They did the same shit we doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But we're doing it under much different circumstances, though.
Yeah, with no OTAs,
COVID,
with no mini camps, with no training camp, with no preseason. It's a way different scenario.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's the same principle. So if Joe Douglas is that blueprint, and if that's the blueprint, I'm talking about the blueprint, dog. Stop trying to be a smart ass, bro. Listen for a second. You trying to catch me or something, bro? Hold on, big dog. Hold on, I got you. What I'm saying is the blueprint can be worked, man. That's it. Period. There's no scenario we can compare COVID-19 to anything else in this world, bro. You can't compare this. You know what I'm saying? You know, the NBA's in a fucking bubble. Come on, bro. Of course it's gonna be different.
Oh my God. Your thoughts, Justin?
Nah. I see your point. I agree. It's going to take 2 seasons. I mean, we address the offensive line, but I don't think that's comparing apples. I see his point. No, 100% see Tyrone's point. But that's comparing apples and oranges. I mean, that's just crazy in my mind. I see where he's coming from, but yeah, I got to agree to disagree on this one.
Fair enough. Justin, for calling it, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, good stuff, guys.
This show, man, I don't even know what this show sounds like. I don't know if it's chaos, if it's good, it's bad. This is just nuts, man.
Hopefully we still got some listeners left by week 1. We'll see.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. There's no way nobody's going to tolerate this shit. So, Tyrone, as we wrap things up, do you want to offer your parting shots to our listeners?
Yes. I want to say thank you guys for listening. It's not always like this, but it ain't always doom and gloom. There's some positivity somewhere in here. I want to say that thank you guys for having me come on tonight. I wasn't gonna come on because I was a little Tyson, what I'm going through. So I had death in the family, so it's kind of been just trying to get my head up around it and get my thoughts back together. But I appreciate you guys helping me through the night, and I enjoyed the show, bro. So next Tuesday we'll do it again.
Well, Tyrone, first of all, before we go to Kevin, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. I'm glad you came on. You're a welcome addition to the show. You bring plenty of energy, and we love everything you bring to this. And dude, you always crack me up, dude. Like, you always find a way at some point in the show make me laugh my ass off. Like I'll hang up when this shit's over. I'm like, he said that shit. I just laugh my ass off. So, thank you, man. So, Primetime, your parting shots.
Yeah, I mean, Tyrone, same thing. Condolences to your family. I've been going through a lot of shit also. So, I mean, Tuesday night, 8 to 10 o'clock, I think we could all agree this is like the 2 hours where we all get to, escape from reality and, just talk some football and have some laughs. So, anybody that's listening and, gets tired of our negativity, hopefully you guys realize, this is just, it's fun for us. We just like to banter and, talk some football. If you guys want to follow at Talk Jets Radio, Instagram, Twitter, I'm handling most of the stuff on Instagram, trying to get back on that, and also doing some stuff at NYSF Mag. So check that out as well.
Let's Talk Jets Radio on YouTube and NJMMAshop.com. We're launching 2 new shirts this week that are really cool shirts. Check those out. Thank everybody for listening, and hopefully it will be a lot more positive with a lot less injuries next week. We'll talk to you then. Oh, shit.
All right, love you, fellas. Y'all be good, man.
Later.
Yeah.